Hi everyone, today I'll be looking at 3 organizations and their effective communication tactics and design. Today we'll be looking at Coca-Cola, Nike, and Patagonia and discover how each uses their newsrooms differently. First, let's start with Coca-Cola. As you can see here, Coca-Cola's newsroom uses a clean, structured layout with a neutral gray background and bold black typography. This makes the design strong because it is simple, legible, and professional. It highlights partnerships and campaigns in a professional news-like style and helps build easy credibility. Therefore, the intended purpose is credibility. Coca-Cola wants journalists and stakeholders to see it as an authoritative, trustworthy source. One of the biggest notable characteristics is minimalism. It avoids distraction and keeps focus on the information. It also shows that a design doesn't always have to be flashy and that simplicity can actually perfect professionalism. Now, compared to Nike or Patagonia, the examples we're going to look at here in a minute, Coca-Cola's design is much more reserved. But I do think it's effective for an audience, and if I was to change anything, I would probably add a few strong visuals to make the stories more engaging. I felt the images were small and hard to even see, even on a desktop. But overall, the tactic could work well for other corporate or government organizations. But it maybe wouldn't be as effective for a lifestyle brand that wants a flashy extension of the brand. Now, in contrast, when looking at Nike, Nike's newsroom is bold and immersive, using oversized typography and strong black and white contrast. These choices make the design strong because they create energy and excitement, immediately pulling viewers in. It also positions Nike as innovative and visually iconic, and shows strong storytelling, extending the lifestyle brand and identity. Now, the purpose here is definitely different from Coca-Cola. The goal is not to inform, but it's actually to tell stories and extend the brand overall. A notable characteristic about this newsroom is that it feels more like a campaign site than a press release page. It shows that design can become part of brand storytelling and not just be packaging for content. Compared to Coke, it's much more emotional and visually immersive. In my opinion, I think it's extremely effective for Nike's audience. However, it could overwhelm if used in more of a serious corporate update realm. Although this design tactic would not work across all industries, it is perfect for brands in the kind of lifestyle, fashion, sports world that thrive on inspiration and lifestyle storytelling. But like I said before, it may not be your best pick for a government or nonprofit context. Finally, let's look at Patagonia. We're looking at a Patagonia ActionWorks page that talks about demand for environmental justice. Patagonia takes another approach. Their newsroom actually doubles as an activism platform using emotional imagery of smokestacks in a neighborhood overlaid with bold typography calling for environmental justice. This design is strong because it's minimal, but it's powerful, and it draws all the attention to the cause. I believe the purpose here is to connect Patagonia's brand to values like sustainability and activism. One big notable characteristic that I picked up on is the design prioritizing social messages over actual product promotion. We don't see any product promotion here, yet we can still see that it's an extension of Patagonia. I think that the lesson here is that design can be used as a tool for advocacy and authenticity, not just marketing. That's what sets this example from Patagonia apart from Coca-Cola's corporate professionalism and Nike's lifestyle storytelling. Patagonia is very cause-driven. It is effective, though, because it creates an emotional response and builds trust with audiences who care about environmental and social issues. The only change that I would maybe implement here would be adding a few interactive elements to make it easier for users to take immediate action. That way, Patagonia could work off of the emotional draw that they have and actually turn it into something effective. The tactic here does work well for nonprofits and mission-driven companies, but it wouldn't transfer well to a brand that needs to stay neutral or just isn't trying to push an emotional agenda. But it does make you think about things deeper. In summary, each of these examples answers the design questions in unique ways. Coca-Cola shows how clean and minimal designs can build professionalism. Nike shows how bold visual storytelling can make a newsroom feel like part of a campaign. And Patagonia shows how design can become activism, driving values and emotional connection. For me, the key takeaway is that design is not decoration, it's strategy. Every choice in layout, color, and typography communicates something about the brand's purpose and audience. That's why these tactics are so effective in their own context. Thank you.